question, again, there are two questions that are kind of the same. How do you plan on increasing communication and transparency with the community? And more specific, what sort of pride-building community outreach do you think District 201 could offer in order to get the community to buy in and support our kids and our schools? What could the board members do specifically? Someone want to jump in on that?
I think that one area that could be addressed, and it was always something that I was, for the whole time, the 8 years that I was on the board, was trying to maintain, and I know it's still an expensive proposition, separate sports teams. I know it seems like it's not the educational factor, but in turn it does build that sense of community in each area, and it also gives the kids, rather than having this huge, for one, instead of one team, 2 teams and that. So I think, I know that there's the other thing, but I think that also, I mean, the non-curricular activities is also a major component of what's happening in the community. They take pride in it. I keep hearing people say they would like to see the Falcons back.
One thing I'd like to see is more communication with the grade school districts. Having board members maybe go to the grade school district board meetings and more interaction with the grade school districts, all 4 of them. Maybe form like a super council of the grade school districts and the high school districts that meet once a month, talk about issues, and get the high schools and the grade schools talking.
I think, I'm sorry, the transparency issue is an important one, and I think it ties into perhaps some of the issues raised, especially by Ted, as it relates to the issue of trust. I think the board has, in the last few years, made substantial strides in attempting to be more transparent. Very shortly, you will be able to go online and review every check that's written by District 201. It will be made public and be publicly available to everybody who wants to see it. We've attempted to increase our ability to communicate through our website, through our Skyward program that allows parents and teachers to communicate, and so we've been working on that. I think you have to, and we're fortunate in this district, we have, the vast majority of our teachers are dedicated, hardworking teachers, but I think our teachers have to lead by example. And if our teachers take pride in what they're doing, I think that's going to flow through to our students, and so I think that's something that we have to work both on a building level as well as on a district level.
I would pick up on something Ted mentioned about the super board. Years ago we used to do that. We used to meet, the Morton board met with the feeder district boards, and we would communicate our needs and talk about how we could work together to fix them and to articulate the curriculum among the schools. It's rather difficult to do with different populations in different areas of the district, but we used to meet regularly, and that fell apart somewhere along the way. I'd like to see that happen again. And I've had some feedback from some of the feeder schools, and they're willing to have that too. So that would be a good way to communicate and eliminate the reteaching that we often have to do at the high school level. With students coming in, we have to take what comes in. We can't send them back. So it would be nice if we had some kind of transition program for those students who are not ready for high school, and that we could help them to at least be on a level playing field with most of the other students. So I would advocate that for sure.
Okay. Alrighty, next question. It says, if we do not currently have the funding to lengthen the school day, do you think we could strive for smaller class sizes aimed at matching teacher skills to various learning styles of groups of kids that are not necessarily special? This might also have, there's another question, are you a proponent of differentiated learning or the small schools initiative?
having been involved in setting up the small schools initiative and for a number of years, meeting with the teachers and administrators and working toward that, I'm definitely a proponent of the small schools. The other half of the question.
Well, differentiated learning, small schools, and if we can't lengthen the school day, strive for smaller class sizes.
Well, the smaller class size might result anyway from the stimulus package, because it will be an increase in funding, and the federal government is hiring more teachers. If the funding becomes available, what we have now in terms of Title I, for instance, the reading program, then that could also happen with math. If students are reading below the 6th grade level, they are now provided with support services for reading, and that would happen also in math. The overall result of that is decreased class sizes across the board.
I think whether you're talking about smaller class size or a longer class day, it really is a function of finance.